Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 17, which is entitled as Shraddha-traya-vibhāga-yoga, the three types of faith. Sloka 8. āyuḥ-sattva-balārogya, sukha-prīti-vivardhanāḥ, rasyāḥ snigdhāḥ sthirā hṛdyā, āhārāḥ sāttvika-priyāḥ. In the previous 7 sloka, Krishna said everything can be classified into 3 categories: sattva, rajas and tamas. Even the food that liked by different person is according to their gunas, which are of 3 kinds. Similarly, even the sacrifices, penances and charity are also of 3 kinds. With that said, in the current sloka, 8th sloka, Krishna elaborates on those people who are sattvika. They desire for certain types of food. And in the 9th sloka, those who are in rajoguna desires a certain kind of food. And in the 10th sloka, those who are in tamoguna desire a different kinds of food. So what if each one has their own desire of what they want to eat? Sometimes people say you have to experience all kind of food. You should experience the world. You cannot restrict yourself of certain food. If in India, I live like Indian, eat Indian food. If I go to America, I live like American, eat American food. If I go to China, I live like Chinese and eat Chinese food. We have to learn to adjust according to the place, time and circumstances. We should not be rigid in certain practices. Some people promote such ideas. It is said, Dhipo bhakshayate dvantam kajjalam cha prashuyate yadannam bhakshaye nityam jayate tadrishi praja. It tells the consequence of having such mentality or habits. It gives with an example that we see the lamp, a ghee lamp or an oil lamp. Lamp consumes, eats darkness and it produces smoke. Likewise, the food that we eat, consume daily produces of its nature. If we eat sāttvika-āhārāḥ, our outcome is going to be sattvik. If we consume rājasa-āhārāḥ, our outcome is going to be rājasik. If we consume tamasa-āhārāḥ, our outcome is going to be tamasic. Like how lamp eats darkness and produces smoke, which is of black in color. One may ask a question, does the sāttvika-āhārāḥ food makes one to be in mode of goodness, or a person who is in mode of goodness likes to consume food that is sattvika? In other words, does this come first or that comes first? This is called Bijāṅkuranyāyam, whether the seed came first or the tree came first. The answer for sure, āhāra suddhi is first. One should consume sāttvika-āhārāḥ. If we simply say the person who is in mode of goodness likes to consume food in mode of goodness, then there is no chance for others to improve. So that cannot be the case. It is by consuming sāttvika-āhārāḥ one develops sattvic nature. One may say, well, I know someone who eats everything but is very good in nature. Well, if that person continues to eat like this, that very good nature will disappear. Now let's understand the meaning of the sloka. Sāttvika-priyāḥ, liked by the sattvic person. person who are sattvic by nature, person who are in mode of goodness, likes. So Krishna is going to continue, but before that, we should understand that these set of slokas, 3 slokas that we are going to see, are not going to give us list of foods that can be consumed and list of food that should be avoided. It is not a menu that Krishna is going to give us, that these are food that are in mode of goodness, these are the list of foods which are in passion, and these are list of food in tamoguna, ignorance. If Krishna had to do that, then 700 slokas is not sufficient enough. And even if Krishna does that, there are people who will find out, well, this is not listed in Krishna's menu. Therefore, I can eat that. Therefore, I should not eat that. So people will come up with all sort of loopholes to find excuses not to actually follow what has been said by Krishna, what has been said in the scriptures. So what Krishna is trying to say here is there are certain food which are desired by the sattvikas. There are certain food which are desired by rajasic person. There are certain food which are desired by tamasic person. That's why Krishna says sāttvika-priyāḥ. Next, āhārāḥ, food items. āyuḥ, longevity, duration of life. Sattva, existence, that is intelligence, being alert. Bala, strength. One's strength is obtained by having proper prana. The body's heat should be proper for one to perform any actions, activity. We should have that warmth, a quality or a state of being warm. The body requires that. And this can be made better by pranayama. This will make the blood to flow properly without any obstacles. When it flows properly, the nutrition are taken to their respective organs, and the organs can perform their function well. Therefore, the practice of pranayama is quite important irrespective of the gender. But when one does pranayama, one must remember Krishna. When our practices are not connected with Krishna and it is only done for benefit of body, then it has no value. The whole idea of any activities that we are doing, including yoga, pranayama, eating, sleeping, working, is all to serve the Lord with this body without any health issues. Whereas there are so many yoga institutes nowadays, even in other countries, which teaches yoga, pranayama, but zero they talk about bhakti, Krishna, surrender, etc. They don't want to talk or teach any of these topics because then they will not get customers. Their idea is to run the business for commercial purpose, to get more audience, to make more money. So whenever we do yoga, pranayama, asanas, we are doing this with remembrance of Krishna, because it is ultimately Krishna who is going to sanction good health, good life duration, good strength, flexibility, etc. Ārogya. Ārogya means roga means disease. Ārogya means free of disease. That means healthy life. Healthy life means vata, kapha, pitta are well balanced. This is what the Ayurveda says. The entire Ayurveda is based upon these 3 doshas. They are the energies which are used to express one's individual physical, emotional and mental characteristics. They influence our personal well-being. We have learned that there are 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air and ether, by which this world is made of, by which our body is made of. Vata deals with air and ether, Pitta, fire and water, and Kapha with earth and water. The entire Ayurveda deals with the balancing of these 3 doshas. When these are imbalanced, it causes disease. When Vata is not balanced, it creates anxiety, digestive problem, constipation, nervousness. But when Vata is balanced, it produces creativity, one able to think out of box. When Kapha is imbalanced, it prone to depression, lethargy, emotional eating. They gain more weight. When it's balanced, a person is very compassionate, calm, peaceful, interested in teaching, etc. When the Pitta dosha is imbalanced, it generates anger, aggressiveness, heartburns, indigestion, things of that nature. When it is balanced, it is very well organized, want to be an high achiever, ambitious. So we should know that each one of our body has certain configuration. One may be more of Vata, another one may be more of Kapha, whereas other person may be more of Pitta. That means the food that we take have to be in such a way it balances these 3 things. Therefore, one man food not necessarily going to be a food for the other man. It could be a poison. So we need to choose right food according to our body. Sukha, happiness. At the time of consumption of the food, it produces sattvic nature. It produces happiness, induces one into an action which gives happiness, that promotes happiness. We have to remember each of these things that we are seeing here, because it's all going to be different or opposite as we go to the other 2 slokas. Prīti, it gives satisfaction. Pleasant acts. Vivardhanāḥ, promotes. Rasyāḥ, sweet and succulent, juicy. It is said that sweetness contributes more than the other taste to bodily strength. So the natural sweet is always good to get a better strength. There are 6 types of taste: sadrasa, madhura, amla, lavana, katu, kashaya, tikta. Let me repeat: sweet, sour, salt, bitter, pungent and astringent. They are successively lower in energy. It means sweet, madhura, imparts maximum energy to the body, whereas astringent taste gives the least. Therefore, consuming sweet in its natural state is not harmful to health, rather it strengthens one's body. But everything should be moderate. One should eat in a balanced way. While eating, one should not eat too fast or too slow either. We see people gulp the food as soon as it reaches their mouth. They don't chew properly before pushing it through the throat pipe. Some people have habit to keep the food in their mouth, and while having they talk or do other things. Holding to the food in the mouth for a long time or eating very slowly is also not good habit. snigdhāḥ, oily or fatty. Those items which contains oil, which is oily or capable of producing oil, are also desired by those who are in mode of goodness. So again, the point is, oil by itself should not be banned. An unrefined natural oil in a moderate quantity is always good, and our body certainly need oil for the organs to function well. Sthirā, which sustain and strengthen the body for a long time. Sthirā doesn't mean one should consume hard items which really requires hammer to break it and then eat it. That's not the food has been mentioned here. Sthirā means those food which gives strength to the body, sustains the energy in the body for a long time. hṛdyā, and are pleasing to the heart. This also means that we need to eat food in a good environment, pleasing environment, in a good setting. Sometimes we see people carry chips or some drinks into the bathrooms, continuing to eat and drink while they are clearing their stomach. hṛdyā means the environment must be pleasing to heart. Of course, what we are eating should also be pleasing to heart. One should not get heartburns by eating certain items. One should not be sweating while eating certain items. Sometime while eating certain item, eye burns, eye become red. Even while using certain vegetable, while cutting certain vegetable, we see tears coming out of eyes. Those things should be avoided. Rather, we should have those items which is pleasing to the art, and we should have those items in a place which is also pleasing. The eating area and surroundings should be very clean and neat. So, sāttvika-priyāḥ, āhārāḥ, āyuḥ-sattva-balārogya, sukha-prīti-vivardhanāḥ, rasyāḥ, snigdhāḥ, sthirā, hṛdyā. Translation: foods dear to those in the mode of goodness, increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. An interesting question may arise. Why Krishna is speaking about longevity, long duration of life? Are we all not supposed to not aspire for long life, rather try to finish and go back to Godhead? Why one should be interested in such life, that too in this material world? Let's learn the answer in our next session. Namaste. Hare Krishna.